Okay, is this thing on? Are we live? Are we on? Are we on? Oh my goodness, y'all. So I'm new to this streaming thing. Welcome to the channel. Ow. My name is Sandra. This is my very first time going live. Oh my gosh, I guess my bird is gonna be a problem. But this is my very first time going live on YouTube or anywhere. Well, I've gone live on TikTok and Facebook, but this is my very first live on YouTube. So come on in, come on in. Let me make sure I'm live on YouTube because it's my first time going live. And I was sitting here like, are we live? Are we live? And turns out I was not. In fact, I have to press the live button. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Give me a second. We're going to get started. And then we're going to get started. Then we're going to do the introduction, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to find out how if I'm live on YouTube. Like, how do I find out if I'm live on YouTube? How do I find out? Let me see. Hold on. As you guys could see, this is gonna be a learning curve for moi. So hold on. I'm looking on my phone. I'm trying to see. Am I live? Am I live? Um, hold on. Live. Okay. I'm gonna assume that I'm live. This is literally, what is this saying? Select the device. I'm not even sure what's happening right now, but this is my very first time going live, you guys. Let me go check on here to make sure so I feel part of the replay crew. Go ahead and skip all of this, all of this, all of this. I won't be mad. Go ahead and skip everything. If in fact I'm not live, let me make sure. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Oh, it looks like I am live. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Right now. Let me see. Welcome to the new YouTube live room. When do you want to go live? I'm going live right now. Built-in cam. Okay. Go. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I think I did something wrong. Hold on. I think I am live though. It's showing that I'm live. Like I said, if hold on. It seems like I'm live. So blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. I apologize, you guys. Let me see something. Yeah, I'm live. So okay. Anywho, so today I'm going to be discussing a few topics. First, a little intro. My name is Sandra. Welcome to the channel. This is my first time going live. I've been on YouTube for a little bit, right? But I haven't had the time to really commit to YouTube. I was watching this blogger, Love Lies and Lace Fronts, and she was like, "Oh, if your goal is to go ahead and press that live button, I can help you, whatever." And that just kind of like trickled the idea to my mind. Hey, you can go live, right? Even though I've been on YouTube for a long time, I have never gone live. I really wanted to start going live because I do want to be more full time on YouTube. I want to grow my channel. I have a lot of videos coming up. So that's kind of what inspired me to go live today. Um, we're going to be discussing a few topics, including the ones that's on the, whatchamacallit, I forgot what it's called. Yeah, on the banner, right? So we're gonna be discussing a few topics, including Lori Harvey, what's going on with Keke Palmer and her baby's father, Young Jeezy and Megan Thee Stallion, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna discuss that. Again, my name is Sandra. I am, I guess, a content creator. I'm a curative content creator. I'm a multidisciplinary. I have my own business. That's one of the reasons why I haven't really been able to be on YouTube as full time as I would like. And also, what else? I think I've already said this, but it's been so long since I was on YouTube. I'm just now getting back started. I also have a bachelor's in psych. So the goal for my channel is because I really do want to discuss serious topics, even though we're going to have kiki moments and funny moments, and sometimes we're going to be discussing current events and what's happening in the culture in America. I live in the United States. What's happening in the culture, even though I'm going to be doing that. But I also still want my channel to stay true to what I want it to be, which is discussing other more serious topics, giving you my spin on it. I'm never going to be the person who is the first on every topic just because, excuse me, um, just because of the fact that I don't want to discuss any topic unless I have something meaningful I can bring to a topic. I don't want to discuss anything just because it's what's hot and what everybody's talking about and what's trending right now. So that's one of the things. Another thing is I want my channel to be something that offers something more than just people kikiing. Like I said, we are going to have those moments, but I do want it to be to offer a lot more than just that. So without further ado, we're going to be getting into the topics today. And again, this is my first time on here. Don't go too hard on me, okay? Take a little easy on me, okay? Don't chew me up just yet. Um, so the first topic I want to discuss today is, give me 1 second. All right, so as I said, I wanted to talk to you guys about this whole Keke Palmer, Darius Jackson situation. Please forgive me if I don't know these people's names because I really do not keep up with celebrity culture like that. But since it's my first live, I did want to talk about some things that are currently happening in the culture. So it's all pretty much all over the news that Keke Palmer has recently filed and been granted a restraining order against her baby's father, whose name is Darius Jackson. Now, I'm not really familiar with her baby's father, but I am very familiar with Keke Palmer. She's literally one of my favorite actors. And again, I'm not a part of stan culture or, I don't go up for these celebrities like that. And I don't keep up with celebrities, but she's one of my favorite actors. I wouldn't say actors. Not that she's not a good actress, because I don't follow everything she does as far as acting. So I wouldn't say that, I keep up with her stuff. But as far as her accomplishment and her personality, I absolutely have loved her even before. A lot of people caught on to her. I believe Keke Palmer is one of the first, no, not one of the first, actually the first person or the youngest person in the United States, black, white, or indifferent, who had her own talk show. So she's really doing big things out here. She's very outspoken. She's very accomplished. Another thing I love about her is she can dance her butt off. Keke Palmer is a dancer. She's a singer. One of my favorite songs by her is "Bossy." So I have been, even I know it's hard for her to transition from music. I mean, acting. It's always harder for people to transition from acting to music for some reason. But yeah, I've always loved her and admired her, as far as what she is and what she's about, right? But recently, it turns out she was in this relationship with this guy for a couple of years, I believe, and they recently had a baby, and she went to the Usher concert where she was being serenaded by Usher. Let me see if I can pull up that clip for you. She was being serenaded by Usher, as Usher does with every celebrity or big paying person that comes in, because that's how he gets his money. And shout out to Usher, because I wanted to go to Vegas. Y'all really messed it up because y'all bought all the tickets, and jacked up the prices, and y'all need to stop doing that. But it is my goal to see Usher in concert because Usher is aging like fine wine. Usher does not get old. Usher can still perform, he can still sing, he can still dance. So yeah, Usher is one of those people that just get better and better. So, you know, his thing is to serenade the big names to get his show in the media. So, and it's been working because it's been announced that he's going to be performing at the Super Bowl. And after that, he's going to have a world tour that I do plan on attending, right? So, Keke Palmer was one of the women he was serenading one of those days at his concert. Let me see if I can pull up the clip for you. One second. I'm going to pull up the clip for you here so you guys can see it for yourself. Keke Palmer. Yeah, there it is. All right. So this is it. Let me just play. I'm keeping it on mute because YouTube is very finicky. But this was her being serenaded by Usher. Oh my goodness.
What's going on?
Hold on. You could see. You see, she was very taken by Usher's body. And you see being serenaded by Usher right here. With her being serenaded by Usher, I guess the baby's father was upset and took to Twitter, not text his girlfriend, not call his girlfriend, not wait till she got home to have a conversation, not go to coffee, go to lunch while they're in bed. No, took to Twitter, the internet, the World Wide Web to discuss this with with Keke, and basically trying to shame her, saying, "Oh, it's the outfit though. You're a mom." Clearly, Kiki's body has changed a lot, right? Keke is loving her new body and she really is doing the thing because she used to be a much slender, slim woman, but now, she's a lot, her body's filled up, okay? She's got her grown woman body and she's been enjoying it. She's been enjoying her body, showing it off, enjoying the perks of having a child. Her waist blew up, her booty blew up. So now she's happy about that. And instead of the boyfriend having a conversation privately with her, he took to the internet to try to shame her, which is what a lot of people were saying. And there were even some people backing up the boyfriend, talking about, oh, and then he went on to say something to the effect that how come a man can't basically have standards for his wife and family? And people are like, but y'all ain't married. You didn't ask her to marry you. So what do you mean a wife? She's not your wife. Nothing of the sort. So yeah, so people were just, saying, that raised a lot of people raised an eyebrow saying, what kind of man does this? This was a red flag, Keke, you in danger, girl. And with that, Keke Palmer basically, she didn't really directly respond in, but she did respond in her own way. And then she had a video with Usher. They basically capitalized of the popularity of the conversation that was being had online. I believe she was featured in an Usher music video and all of that, right? So with that, Keke Palmer was saying, you know, and she made a post saying one thing about it, two things for certain, three things for sure is I am a mother. So pretty much you're not going to shame me and say just because I wear a certain outfit that makes me any less qualified as a mom, that makes me less than anything else. So that was the conversation. And it turned out recently, she went to the police, filed a restraining order against her baby's father. At first, a lot of people were saying, oh, she's just trying to embarrass him because of what happened, because of this and that. He's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah. A good man. So, but then it turns out there was a lot more to the story. Come to find out, this man allegedly, everything we're saying on here is alleged. Nothing's been proven in a court of law yet. Just disclaimer. So pretty much Keke Palmer was saying, yeah, you're not going to embarrass me. And then on top of that, you over here putting your hands on me. So I guess the story goes, according to Keke's claims, that he's been putting hands on her since before she had this baby. Okay. Now I get this. This is a sensitive topic. I'm going to be sensitive about it because I do want my channel to be considerate. But I also want you guys to get the real, to feel comfortable, to have real conversations. And we all learn by watching, right? We learn from other people's mistakes. You don't always have to be in the situation. And I'm never going to encourage any certain behavior that can be detrimental to anyone. So pretty much, it turns out not only that, he had trespassed into her home, and there were stills of her actually being allegedly, he was trying to grab her phone. You could see a figure of a woman and a man over her trying to reach for something. According to her, in that scenario, I guess he trespassed in her home, trying to get their baby to take the baby to a football game, and she's like, I never said he could go to a football game. And second of all, he ain't even here. He's with my sister. And so the guy was upset. I guess he went downstairs. Keke thought he was leaving and he wasn't. So she threatened to call the police. So he grabbed her phone. And when she, I guess, chased him down outside to try to grab the phone, that's when she said he got in his car, almost hit her, and then he threw her phone somewhere. And it seems like, according to her, he's not only physically abusive, but he's also emotionally abusive. What he's doing is testing the boundaries more and more, as abusers tend to do, right? What they'll do is they're going to keep testing the boundaries, see what you allow, and what you allow will continue, and then accumulate in tax, right? So what he kept doing was push the boundaries. Before you had the baby, right? He allegedly, according to her reports, grabbed her by the throat, slammed her on the ground. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to hold you. A man, I understand that there are a lot of people who grow up in certain situations and they feel that because they're in those situations, they don't want to, they certain things are tolerable. For me personally, because I of the culture I grew up in, I always knew that that was something that was always going to be intolerable for me. A man putting his hands on you is an absolute no, 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 because and a man doesn't even have to put his hands on you. If a man makes you feel like your spirit is bothered when he's around, he's bothered by you, he says certain things to you, he behaves certain way, it doesn't even have to escalate to that point for you to realize, oh no, 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 you got to go and I got to go, right? So when he did that, about 3 months later, I guess that's when Keke got pregnant and she still had his baby. One of the things I'll never understand is when women are talking about, oh, I got pregnant, I had a baby by accident. There's no such thing. There's absolutely no such thing. You cannot have a baby by accident unless you you weren't feeling well, you went to the doctor one day and they're telling you to push. That's the only way you can have a baby by quote unquote accident. But you have 9 months, at least 7 months, right? To know that you're about to have a baby, because some people have babies at 7 months, some even earlier, right? But you have all this time to know that you're pregnant, you're going through it. So having a baby is a decision. Anybody who tells you it's not, they're not being truthful. I don't want to call anybody a liar, but they're not being truthful. Having a baby is a decision. You have to say, I want to have a baby to move forward with that step. You can get pregnant by accident. Okay, but them Planned Parenthood people, they exist for a reason. There are most countries, realistically, there's no Planned Parenthood. And guess what? There's no Planned Parenthood, and certain people still do what they got to do, what they want to do. Having a baby is a decision. Nobody can convince me otherwise. You chose to have a baby with a man who picked you up by the neck and slammed you on the ground. and that the behavior has escalated to the point where you fear for your life and your son's life. Now, I'm not victim blaming. Don't get me wrong, but we have to be able to have hard conversation and realistic conversations. I understand sometimes it's hard for people based on what they believe in. And Kiki Palmer seems to be one of those women, despite all her accomplishment, despite her being very outspoken, being very talented, it seems that Kiki Palmer, for the most part, her relationships are not usually the most healthy. Okay, she tends to be in very unhealthy relationships with toxic men. So that's an indicator that something behind the scene, the work is not being done. Right. So if you have a man who's here putting his hands on you, 3 months later, you continue to engage with this man, and then you have his child, you give birth to this man's child. I think a lot of women take for granted having the ability to have babies. There are a lot of women who choose not to have babies. They're fine with their decision. They're completely happy. Not every woman has to have a baby, right? But for those who choose to have babies, they give their womb to just anybody. Me personally, okay, if a man shows me any sign of being violent, and violence doesn't always have to be physical, right? Violence can be emotional abuse, okay? Make you feel a certain way. You have to pay attention to how certain people make you feel when you're around them. The things they say, you pick up on them. That's why in the past few years, there's a lot of relationships I've cut off just because of how I feel after being around this person, after talking to this person, because I realized the toxicity of what this person does to me, my body, my spirit, emotionally. And that does take a toll on you physically, right? So a man doesn't have to put his hands on you. But the fact that he did to go on and have his child, what, I'm so sorry. What did you expect to happen? So I don't want to go on too long about this, but also Kiki Palmer's mom um, was speaking out. Let me show you guys what she was saying. Okay, so she was speaking out after Darius Jackson's um, brother was saying, "Oh, trying to play the good guy on Twitter," and she basically came out and blasted him.
Motherfucker. Where's my baby?
And you better watch out. You might get a bullet in your motherfucking head.
And we also have text messages. One from
So yeah, basically the mom was saying, "Hey," to the brother, "Hey, you're not a good guy. Don't try to play a good guy because when I came to you about my daughter a year ago, well, you were basically saying, oh, I'm like this too. I do this too. I've done this too." That's not basically dismissing it, saying it's not a big deal. But guess what? It's a very big deal. Why is it a big deal? So you're putting your hands on someone's child. Even if Kiki Palmer was not her child, you have no right. No one has the right to put their hands on you. No one has, if you're a man, woman, non binary, non conforming, whatever you identify as, no one has the right to put their hands on you. Okay? That is the biggest disrespect. And it's a violent form. It's a violent action, right? Putting your hands on someone. So, how can you say you love someone or care for someone and you're hitting them? You should be, appalled if anyone says something violent to someone you care about. They don't actively act on it and put their hands on you or somebody you love. So the mom was saying, "Don't try to play the good guy," and then he's Keke Palmer's ex-boyfriend now has in return, shared this audio. What you just heard of the mom saying, she was gonna have him popped in the head. I'm sorry, where's the problem? I don't see the problem with that because you're over here putting your hands a grown man. I believe he's a fitness instructor. Like I said, I don't keep up with these people. I don't know what they do for a living. You're over here slamming a young woman to the ground. Who knows what else you've done, right? And you're over here saying, oh, she threatened to unalive me. What's the problem? Me personally, if my niece tells me someone's abusing them, I'm not approaching their brothers or their mothers or anybody else. So that conversation, I understand maybe, as mom, sometimes, as parents, and as children, we want to do what we're going to do because that's how we are. And, we're grown now. We know everything. So we're going to do what we want to do. Right. But it turns out if someone, my niece, my cousin, or whatever, tells me something like that, I'm not having a conversation. Maybe the mom was having that conversation with Keke, like, you need to leave him. Because on one of the audios, I think she was saying if Keke gets back with you, something to that effect, she would not be happy or something like that. Maybe she was having the conversation with her daughter, but the daughter refuses to leave. So she was trying to find the best way to mediate the situation by, hey, can you talk to your brother? And you tell him, oh, that's no big deal. I used to do that all the time. So insinuating that he's going to change. But the gag is, um, according to the mom, also, this guy abuses his own family member, his own sister. So it turns out this guy is actually a violent man. And the fact also, when Keke got with this man, there was somebody on TikTok, this woman on TikTok, who says 2 weeks prior, he was dating the guy and got pregnant and, got rid of the baby. But after that, 2 weeks later, he's posted up on Instagram with Keke. So that means that he was trying to secure the bag. We're not going to pretend that he didn't know that Keke Palmer was a big fish and that she has money. And I mean, I guess I'm still taken aback by the fact that someone can be as smart and, well, as talented and, accomplished as Keke Palmer and still be dealing with things behind the scenes, but you just never know. And she's saying that the reason why she finally found the strength to leave this guy is because of her son. But let me tell you something. You don't need a child to leave an abusive man. Okay, I understand that's what it took for her, but it would have been better if she didn't have that connection. A child is permanent. Me personally, I'm telling you, I'm not going to have a child with just any kind of person that I think is not good for me, is not right for me. I'm never going to make that permanent connection between us. Okay, but I mean, good thing that she's deciding to leave, and I hope she does. At this point, I don't think she has a choice with the way everything's going in the media. But good thing she's leaving. But just you can love yourself enough without a child. Okay, you need to love yourself enough before you have a child, and value yourself enough before you say, okay, I'm leaving this person. Somebody put their hands on you, you leave them. Somebody indicates they're going to put their hands on you, you leave them. Somebody make you feel like they have the potential to put their hands on you, you leave them. Because guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. It's better to be wrong, because we know in those situations, especially with violent men, the women tend to end up not on this earth anymore. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I'd rather be wrong than dead. I would rather be wrong. So just dealing with that, I'm very shocked, and I hope everything works out for Keke Palmer. And I think it's a very, very sad situation, and I hope young women never feel the need to prove themselves. A man abusing you and mistreating you is not a sign that you need to prove yourself. It's not a sign that you need to try harder in the relationship. It's not a sign for you to give them a baby. Maybe they'll change. One of the things I really hate is when people talk about, oh, babies change people. I don't think it does. I don't think babies change characters of people. I think maybe it just helps them take on a bit more responsibility. For those who actually, for the most part, it's the women who take on the responsibility. Let's start there, right? To say babies change people, I don't believe that. Especially with the way cultures are, the man just says hi to the baby once in a while. men don't really take care of babies. Shout out to the women who have those men that do, okay? Because I know they do exist. But for the most part, don't say, oh, maybe your baby will change him. A man abusing you is not a sign for you to be more committed to him. It's a sign you need to leave. The earlier you leave, the better, because the longer you stay, the more dangerous it becomes and the harder it is to leave. So that's that on that. And I'm wishing Keke Palmer the best. And I hope that no other young woman is going to allow a man to put their hands on them and then go on to marry this said man. Well, good thing she didn't marry him. And I have a feeling that she didn't marry him on purpose just because she knew, this is not somebody I want to marry. But if you didn't want to marry this man, if you do not see yourself marrying a man because he's not going to treat you right, don't give him a baby. I'm not going to judge Keke, but I hope it's a learning. It's a lesson for all the young women who are out there and dealing with stuff like that. So anyway, let's move on to the next conversation. A lot of the conversation seems to be stemming from relationships today. It's a lot of people acting up in relationships today. The next conversation I just want to touch on briefly is another one of my favorite people, one that I see online, not that I know personally, is Young Jeezy. Let me tell you, okay? We got hundreds on the table, 20s on the floor. Young Jeezy is one of my favorite. Like, literally, his voice, Young Jeezy can rap about anything, okay? About anything. I've been on Young Jeezy saying, it's the boys in the hood sell anything for profit. On the corner clocking, which is very toxic, okay? But that's another conversation. Hip hop music, American. I'm not just gonna say American because a lot of other cultures have adopted that type of music. A lot of it is very toxic to the Black culture. Let's keep it a buck, okay? But Young Jeezy, he is a rapper. He was married to Jenny Mai. I think she was one of the hosts of The Real. I think that's what it was called. The show is called. It's been canceled, but she seems to be doing other work like extra TV. So Young Jeezy and Jenny Mai got married, and when they first got together, one of the things that first popped up was the fact that Jenny Mai was saying pretty much she does not like black guys like that. Pretty much saying white meat on the black meat on the side, but white keeps me lean and mean, something like that. Let me see if I can find that phrase. Dark meat on the side, Jenny Mai. There it is. I'm like, pretty much, there's that. Just 1 second. Dark meat on the side, pretty much, just like just like a lot of women, non-black women who fetishize after black men. It's always, it's never about love. It's always, a fetish. So this is what she said.
Loved black guys. Yeah, I did. But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. That's why I married white man. That's what I like.
Hold up. What do you mean, dark meat on the side?
Lightweight offensive. I'm
not. I'm saying I really do think black men are attractive. I do. Like that's my.
Well, what do you mean, dark meat on the side?
That means, honey.
You know what that means.
Wait, what are you reading it as?
How did you say it?
I'm just saying, when I think about men, I like dark men. I do.
Right, you like your main man to be white and your side piece
No, that is not what I mean.
Explain what you mean.
Okay, what I meant is I
give it to Tamara. Mm-hmm.
Used to date black men. Okay, I think they're attractive. But what I decided to stick to because it just kept me happiest was my man Freddie, who happens to be white.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I dated an Asian man once.
You did?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How did that go, Lonnie?
Yeah. Because he had a Chinese restaurant. That's why I dated him. I had all the free beef and broccoli I could eat. I was with it.
Anyway, let me turn that off. Anyway, so that's what Jenny Mai was saying. Pretty much that meat on the side. So it was people were taken aback by the fact that young Jeezy of all people would actually marry her, right? So then now they're getting a divorce, and Jenny, I believe, was in a previous relationship. She was married for like 10 years. Please don't quote me on that because I'm not 1,000% sure. I believe she was in a relationship, and she did not want to have a child, right? But it turns out that she, in fact, had a baby with young Jeezy, and it was shocking. And I believe the ex even doubled back on the internet, calling her trash and all kind of stuff. And so, yeah, young Jeezy married her. Now they're getting divorced, and people were shocked, saying because he was the one that filed it. And people are like, "Oh, if the man's the one that files, then it really means something because men don't just go off and file for divorce just like that." And then people were also saying, "Why would he do this to her? You know, you knew she didn't have a baby. You made her have a baby just to leave her a single mom." What I'm gonna say on that, and then Jeezy recently did an interview with Nia Long talking about how his growth and what happened, and basically saying that he went to counseling. They just couldn't save the marriage. They were only married for 2 years, I believe. So I don't know how old the baby is. I don't know if the baby's 1 yet or not. But my thing is, Daisy also talks about how, she's doing things for the culture. He wants to help his people. Da, da, da. My thing is, y'all always want to save the culture, but y'all never seem to want to marry Black women. Hello? Everybody knows. Anybody knows? Okay, I'm sorry. I take that back. Because, there's a misconception that most Black men are married to white women or not married to Black women. That is not true. Most Black men are actually married to Black women. But the thing is, it seems like any prominent Black man with a lot of money, for some reason, they're so insecure and harbor such self-hate that they always feel like they're upgrading by getting something that they didn't have access to before, getting the forbidden fruit. I can now afford a non-Black woman, right? But my thing is, and this is not anything against like interracial dating or anything like that. It's the fact that everybody knows that if you want to build a culture, right? It starts with the women. Women are the leaders of cultures, social, anything. Women are always the leaders, okay? The men may be the face of a lot of things, but women are the true leaders of any society, right? So if you do want to see progress, help your people make progress, why is it that as a successful man, you're not building with a woman from your community? Why is it that you didn't choose a woman? Because I believe he has several babies' mother who happen to be Black, right? And he did not seem to be like the best partner to them. And so when you did have the money, you wanted to change your image. And that's another thing. A lot of people feel like, it was for both of them kind of like trying to branch out from their audiences, kind of like reach new audiences. So if you want, as a Black man, you want progress for your community, you have all this money and you have all this knowledge, why wouldn't you have children that are going to be part of said community and then help your children? Because it doesn't seem like he has good relationships with those Black, quote unquote, Black children, but he wants everything for that biracial child. And if you want your community to be successful and when you pass, you're going to leave all that money behind. Why is it that all the money you've worked hard for, you're going to leave it behind if you are still married to someone and you're going to leave it behind for someone who's not in your community? Make it make sense. I feel like with a lot of, I'm not going to say Black men, but in America, I'm not saying colorism or racism, It doesn't exist everywhere, but in America particularly, it literally is the deciding factor on the skin tone that you date and marry. And that's just my thoughts on that. Like, if you guys care about so much about Black community, you want Black power, you want this, you want that, why don't you build within that community? Mhm. And I know all the stuff that happens in regards to race in America. You know, if you know what I know and you want to change it, why is it that all the money you have, you're going to leave it behind for another group? Any thoughts? Anyway, that's all I have on that. We're just gonna move on, child, and move on to Shirley Strawberry. Okay, so you guys, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this Shirley Strawberry situation. So one day I was minding my business in my bed, and I went to the YouTube streets, right? And I'm here lurking on the YouTube streets, and I see several YouTubers that I follow, popular YouTubers, are posting Shirley the strawberry letter, strawberry letter, strawberry letter. I'm like, what the heck is the strawberry letter? And turns out, I guess Steve Harvey has a morning show, and on it is a co-host, Shirley Strawberry, and Shirley Strawberry has a segment on the show called the Strawberry Letters, where people send in their letters, and she gives them advice. A lot of it is tends to be relationship advice, and on that day, I guess Shirley Strawberry has some confessions, just like Usher, honey. So she has some confessions about, I guess she has been caught on the phone talking about Steve Harvey, talking about Marjorie Harvey, saying that, Steve Harvey was going up the stairs huffing and puffing. Basically, when he works out, he does his upper abs, and he doesn't do a lot of cardio. And I guess they were in Dubai because they travel with the show. And also on it, she was heard as saying, "Oh, basically Marjorie Harvey treat them like the help." And so, she had to go online and apologize to to Steve Harvey and apologize to Marjorie Harvey. So, give me 1 second, you guys. Hold on. Okay, you guys, I apologize. If you're on the replay, make sure you skip that. Okay, so yeah, she had the strawberry letter, right? Basically confessing her sins, begging for forgiveness for Steve Harvey for what she said. And so they were saying, "Oh, you over here apologizing to Steve Harvey. What about your daughter? What about your daughter?" So I started looking into this, and let me tell you. Turns out, Shirley Strawberry's husband is in jail. That's how the calls work. They were able to obtain these calls. So, because I guess when you're in jail, which I didn't know, I learned a whole lot. So, when someone's in jail, you can actually request their jail calls, because I guess as a community, as a people of the country, you're allowed to know what's going on. So, you're allowed to request those jail calls. And so people were able to request those jail calls. Shout out to Love Lies and Lace Front and Roto Bougie. I guess there's this channel called Phone Calls from Prison. So Phone Calls from Prison actually was able to Love Lies and Lace Front went to Phone Calls from Prison. What they do is they release calls of people from jail. So the woman from Love Lies and Lace Front was saying, "Hey, have you heard of Shirley Strawberry? She's a co-host of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Her husband is in jail. Are you able to get those phone calls?" And I guess Phone Calls from Prison was like, "Oh, we want to look into it." Next thing you know, Phone Calls from Prison released those phone calls of her at Steve's house, saying basically Steve is scared of Marjorie, and Marjorie, the guy was like, "Oh, is Marjorie at the house?" And she was like, "No, she thinks of us as the help. If she was here, we couldn't even be all around." I guess they were in Dubai. So, with that said, she had to go online and kiss Steve's ass from back to front and front to back again and beg for forgiveness. So, but when you listen to those calls, I don't even know. I think, like a lot of people said, there was a lot of rumors of Marjorie cheating on Steve, and a lot of rumors of Marjorie Steve, there's allegedly he has a child outside the marriage. He's out there doing his thing, that type of stuff, right? Because Steve Harvey has been married, 3 times, and he had like 100 children, and he's not known for being faithful. So Steve also went on the radio blasting quote unquote black bloggers, which I can't believe that a lot of people are even talking about the fact that he was calling people black ass people. Steve Harvey will shuck and jive for white folks. Let's be honest, okay? He will shuck and jive for white folks and always throw black people under the bus. He would never say something like that about white people. He says it about he feels comfortable disrespecting black people because he knows he can get away with it. So the way he's always shucking and jiving for white folks, and you can tell he's that type of person. He's a worker for the white person. And he's upset that all these black ass, in his words, bloggers are talking about him. So basically, he just threw Shirley Strawberry under the bus, backed it up, went forward and backed it up again to take the pressure off of Marjorie Harvey. So Shirley Strawberry was, begging for forgiveness. So I started looking into it. And it turns out this man is an idiot in so many ways. He is a liar and scammer, allegedly. So this man has been in jail for over a year. And I'm sorry, y'all. He's been in jail for over a year. Okay. And his charges are crazy, from RAPE to child doing, having pictures of inappropriate, actually explicit pictures of children in his phone. In his laptop. A lot of people coming to the front saying, he scammed me for $30,000, $70,000. It turns out, he has a side chick and all of these things. And Shirley Strawberry is basically on the phone calls talking to this man. And it was very disheartening. Talking to this man about her own daughter and the things she was saying were, less than nice. And like, what kind of woman, allows a man to talk about your daughter like that? Let me tell you something. Shirley Strawberry is one of the reasons why I do not take advice from anybody as far when it comes to relationship. I don't take advice from, and I also don't give advice from these type of women. These type of women, you give them advice, they're gonna go back to the man, kick in with him, and tell the man everything you said. Now this man over here hates your guts, but you was only trying to help them. And I also don't take advice from them because clearly, okay, there is no age for stupidity. Shirley Strawberry is almost 70 years old, and I'm not trying to be mean or unkind or anything. You're almost 70 years old. At some point, there's some things you're supposed to have learned, okay? Mind you, not only was she talking about her own daughter, this woman was evicted 5 times. In a lot of the calls, you can hear how he talks to his son, his brother, his side chick, but pretty much he keeps Shirley out of the loop as far as what he's really going on. So even though, I feel like Shirley knew he was out here acting a fool, because deep down he knows he wasn't good enough for her and he was insecure. That's another thing. Insecure men will ruin your life, like Keke Palmer's baby daddy, him, right? He was insecure and was trying to keep up with Shirley's lifestyle. I think he got in way over his head trying to provide for Shirley Strawberry, that riding around in Rolls Royces and all of that, trying to, put out an image. Mind you, this man is a convicted felon. One thing for certain, 2 things for sure, I am not messing up with nobody who's been in prison. Okay? There's a lot of things that comes with somebody who's been in prison, including paying restitution after they come out. Hello? You are too grown to be playing phone tag. Too grown to be sitting by the phone waiting for a phone call from a man from prison. So, he was over here bringing her all the lavish gifts. They were living in homes and getting kicked out of them. But apparently, maybe he was telling Shirley, I don't like this house. This house had bugs. I don't want to live here. But turns out they were being kicked out. And turns out he has co-defendant. Let me tell you something. I don't know what's in the water in Atlanta, but you people. So he has a co-defendant, right? Someone he's been doing business with for years to help him sign people's name to it, to fake leases and stuff like that. The co-defendant, they were having tried to represent him in court, trying to fake being a lawyer, and she was caught when she logged in on the Zoom call the first time. They were like, "Can you turn on your camera?" And when she was about to turn on her camera, she logged into the wrong Zoom call. And they were like, "You don't look like this lawyer. You're claiming to be this lawyer, but you don't look like that person, a lawyer that they are familiar with." And then she came back and logged into the wrong Zoom, and they're like, "Who is this? You know, I thought you were so and so just 2 seconds ago before you logged out." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I logged into my paralegal's computer, Zoom by accident." It's a whole mess. All I'm saying is Shirley Strawberry had to have had an idea of what was going on, because there's no way you have a convicted felon bringing you all these gifts. And even him, her husband, Ernesto, I don't think he even thought he could get us Shirley Strawberry. And when Shirley Strawberry allowed him in her life and bank account, he depleted them, because Shirley Strawberry is always on the phone calls talking about how much they don't have anything. They don't have anything. You don't have anything. You're broke. But your man is driving all these big cars. He has a motor coach that he drives around in. People alleging that he did things to them without their consent on. So he's being charged for a whole bunch of stuff, and he has to stay away from animals. The case is still ongoing. I think yesterday he had like a hearing, and it's on Zoom, and everybody's watching it live. It's a whole big story. But like I said, Shirley Strawberry has this characteristic that can be good and bad. She's able to let things roll and not let it bother her too much, and still able to push forward no matter what's going on, which is great. But also you have to be a certain type of person to deal with Steve Harvey. That characteristic came in handy when it came to her job. But to know that things are going on, allegedly your daughter's name is being forged, allegedly this man is doing things to, having inappropriate pictures of children, allegedly the police is calling you saying, "Ma'am, okay, your husband stole this stole this money from this person to buy your wedding ring." And you don't even inquire. She on the phone call, she keeps saying she's not going down there. She's not going to talk to the cops, not going to talk to the cops. You had an idea. She may not have known all the details, but she must have had an idea of what was going on and allowed him, because she's like, "I'm tired of struggling." She was not trying to be a strong Black woman. And the sad thing is, like, this man, legitimized them, right? This man cannot talk. He cannot compose a sentence. This man, Shirley Strawberry is very well spoken. Not only that, she has a really nice voice. She's been on the radio for over 20 years, I think. So for her, and she's almost 70 years old, she's been doing this a very long time, right? For her to speak the way she does, I believe some people say she's always correcting Steve's grammar on the radio. This man cannot compose a sentence. When I was listening to this man talk, I'm like, okay, maybe because I'm not an American. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe I'm not, used to the ATL lingo, but y'all know how you talk. And maybe I'm not this, maybe I'm not that. But then everyone was complaining about it. It turns out this man talks like he has a mouth full of sand. You cannot hear what he says. It doesn't make sense. He's always trying to give Shirley like the fast talk, to lie to her about what's really going on, even though she may not have known the extent of what was going on. She had an idea. She just didn't want to know. She wanted to live the soft life. She didn't want to be a strong Black woman. And I get that. But at some point, when this man is over here talking crap about your daughter, you have grandchildren that this man is around, and he's allegedly doing things to, having inappropriate pictures of children, and having inappropriate pictures of animals and children, actual pictures. You're not even the least bit curious? Ma'am, you're too grown, Shirley. You're too grown. You should have known better. I think a lot of people are disappointed in her because a lot of people grew up listening to her on the radio. They're familiar with her for a long time. But are you serious? Speaking of the strawberry and Harvey's, let's segue into Lori Harvey. So Lori Harvey and Damson Idris have broken up, right? Lori Harvey Now, not too much on Lori. I know I just talk crap about Steve, but not too much on Lori. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Not too much on Lori. Okay. So Lori Harvey has allegedly Damson is the one that broke up with Renta Bay from his with his Renta Bay Lori Harvey. So Lori Harvey and Damson Idris seem like they have removed all pictures of themselves on each other's social media. Yeah, so they've broken up. But thing is, like a lot of people suspect, and myself included, I think Lori Harvey is, she's in her business era. She's going to use these men, their popularity, to build her business. As a result, now I believe she has a clothing line and a swimwear line. So she's using these men's popularity. She doesn't act, she doesn't sing, she doesn't dance, right? But she's pretty, and people want to be associated with her. And she has a strategic mother and a strategic team that's going to pair her up with men who can give her popularity to put her face and name out there and keep her out there long enough to build her business. And then she's going to rebrand. I love women who can rebrand. Okay. So she was with Michael B. Jordan. And I believe that it came out after there was some controversy because a lot of people say that Michael B. Jordan only dates, the beige, powdered chicks. So, and she, even though Black women are the ones who support him mainly in his career, his biggest audience, but that's how a lot of these insecure men do, right? They are racist, they're anti themselves, they hate themselves, and they hate the women in their own community. So, right after that, she was in a relationship with Michael B. And people were saying, okay, this has to be, a rent-a-based situation. It's for the public, just to save face, to say, look, she's Black technically, even though, a lot of people would say Lori Harvey is ambiguous. So even though she's Black, she's not Black. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, she got with Damson. And people are saying, yeah, she's starting to look bad. Maybe now she should keep her relationship quiet. For why? This is her business. Like, don't you get it? It's giving contract relationship. And even if it is, so what? A lot of people do it. So I'm not going to go too hard on Lori. I don't think there's any. I think one of the things is Lori Harvey was engaged at a very young age to a football player. I think she was very young. She almost married him. And, now that she's back out and she's starting to learn what she wants, what she doesn't want, even if she's dating for her own sake, even if she's dating for building her business, she's having fun with it and saying, I almost got married young, now I'm going to take the time to date people, enjoy people. We don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. I don't want to assume what she's doing, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a young woman who says, I know what I want and this is not it, so I'm going to move forward. Or even if, like I said, a lot of people are saying these relationships are just contracts. So she could be publicly linked to these men, but privately she has her own thing going on. So, yeah, hold on. Now we're just going to move on to Megan Thee Stallion real quick. Hold on 1 second. I just got a text. I think something might be wrong. We went to Megan Thee Stallion. So Megan Thee Stallion released his back outside. She back outside. Megan Thee Stallion's back outside, okay? And what she's saying is she released a song called Cobra. She released a song called Cobra, and in the song, she's making some serious allegations about someone having cheated on her. So when she first came outside, we saw her with that football player, Lukaku. It was like, Megan, where's party? Where's party? Everybody was saying, Megan, where's party? Where's party? And after she went through that trial with Tory Lanez, everybody, was looking at her sideways, and her boyfriend Party was very supportive. And then it was coming out that, she had been sleeping with everybody in the industry. So, saying that the boyfriend was upset and making him look bad and weak, even though he had been taking up for her, going back and forth with the baby on social media. So, yeah, Megan Thee Stallion had gone into hibernation for a little while, get herself together. Now she's back outside putting out music. She's self-funding her new project. And she put out this new song called Cobra, where she admitted to a lot of serious stuff, including, wanting to end her life, missing her parents. I believe her parents passed, and then missing and catching her boyfriend in the act in the bed that she sleeps in. Let me tell you something about insecure men. I should have titled this Insecure Men. They will put your life in danger. Like, they will be out here doing what they're doing to try. And a lot of men, they cheat as a way to remind you who has the power. They cheat as a way to remind you that, I can do better than you, when they know they can't, but it's just to make you feel terrible. Like people are saying, why does a Jay-Z cheat on a Beyonce? You know what I'm saying? Because he's insecure. And he knows that Beyonce is all this and all that. And Beyonce is bigger than him in a lot of respects. So it's like, this is, their way of humbling you. Insecure men will find with, just like that guy went to the social media to embarrass Keke Palmer, to humble her. That's the same thing, right? So a lot of people were saying, who cheated on, a lot of people just basically kind of insinuated that it was, the ex-boyfriend Party. And I think the worst part about it is that she was saying she caught the person in the act in the same bed. I don't know if she caught him in the act, or maybe she saw videos or something, because she said she walked in. So she must have caught the person in the act, right? In the same bed that she's sleeping. Not only would they insecure men physically put your life in danger by putting their hands on you, okay, they will bring you diseases. Okay, they will disrespect you. They will play with your emotions. They will, and mind you, at that time, she was going through a lot with the Tory Lanez trial. Imagine being shot and nobody believes you. And the people who are supposed to be your peers, who should be supporting you, are out here making a joke about it, making light about it. So she was going through all that. And then the one person who has supported you, had your back, is not the one person that's trying to humble you by saying, oh, you was out here doing this, I'm going to hurt you. One of the saddest things, I think, from the TV show Girlfriends, I'll never forget, that guy who cheated on Tony in her own house and did it on purpose, made sure she caught him. Yeah, men like that, they will ruin your life. Insecure men will ruin your life, okay? So as it turns out, that's what's being said, and he's dating this new woman. I'm not really sure who she is. I believe her name is Jada something. I'm so sorry. I don't know if she's some kind of musician or whatever. And a lot of people have been saying, oh, pretty much like that's the woman that he was involved with. I don't know about all that, but I just want to send Megan Thee Stallion all the luck in the world. Megan Thee Stallion is my body goal. I know I'm not going to have a body like her, because our bodies are different, but like the way she's lost, she was never fat, but she slimmed down, but toned up. Chef's kiss. So Megan Thee Stallion over here looking great, moving on, living her best life, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, and the last thing I just want to talk about quickly is I don't know if you guys know this guy named Keith Lee. I did not know about him until recently. So I guess Keith Lee is some kind of like food critic. He goes everywhere. He says places invite him, but he only goes when he wants to because he doesn't want preferential treatment. Of course, if they know you're coming there, then when they invite you, they're gonna make sure everything is on point. So he goes on his own terms, and I guess he did a food tour. He was trying to in Atlanta when he went to Candy Burris' restaurants and something, the Honeycomb and other restaurants, and he's saying basically the food service in Atlanta is trash. And a lot of people were giving him backlash, like you're trying to shit on black restaurants. Let me tell you something. One thing I hate when people say online is, oh, if I go somewhere to a Jamaican restaurant or a Caribbean restaurant, the person's not rude to me, then I know the food's gonna be trash. I've always had a problem with that because we complain about going to other places, other communities, and receiving bad service and being mistreated. And then we can even expect to be treated well in our own communities. So that just makes no sense to me. It's something that's always turned me off. And I really hate that we have that mindset of, oh, if the food, they're not rude to me, the food's not going to be done, it's not going to be good, I'm not going to be happy. Blah, 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 blah. I really want us to start valuing ourselves, to get respect from home and outside. Not just go outside and complain when you go to somebody else's restaurant in a different community that's rude to you, mistreat you, racist, or whatever. But at home you expect it. What's the difference? It's okay because they're your skin tone? No. Anyway, you guys, this was my first live. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I will talk to you guys later. I'll try to go live more often. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Dislike it if you don't like it. Either way, get us in the algorithm. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal. Yeah, so I hope you guys can help me make it happen so I can be more full-time on here, more permanent. And yeah, you guys, so thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.